one, fire.
Good evening and welcome to the Anime Analyst US. I am your host, Thomas Fry.
And I'm your co-host, Asnan Zedi.
Welcome to this evening. We are bringing you a special one tonight. We are bringing you a DANMACHI Series 5. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? And, well, I don't know the answer to that question, but I don't think it's wrong to try to pick up girls anywhere. All right, this is a 15-episode series. It is currently airing. We are up to... Whoops. I wasn't flipping you off. I was trying to do a 3. It looks like I'm flipping because those fingers don't work. Anyway, there are 15 episodes in this season. It's in the fall of 2024 of High Dive's fall season, and I said that twice, sorry. It's brought to you by JC Staff. It's based on a light novel. The genres are action, adventure, and fantasy. It's rated PG-13, and it is pulling a 790 score, which is extremely high. It's ranked 812, and it's got the popularity's a little low. It's at 2,040, but that's kind of to be expected in the beginning. We're only 3 episodes into it, but this is such a franchise. DANMACHI has, not only have they done, they're on their 5th season, but they did, Sword of Aurora. You've got 2 other movies. You've got, this is a big franchise. They got a lot going on. There's supposed to be an OVA coming from this. This season, at the end of the season, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out, but they got one hell of a bomb to drop. Boom! It's a big old bomb, and we're not saying nothing. And it's there for you to see. You might be able to figure it out, but it takes a lot of research and a lot of looking around, and you got to know the history to figure it out, and you got to know which characters are fighting. The Hestia, Freya. I couldn't think of her now. Brain fart. The Hestia Freya thing on there. We got a video that we are going to be premiering right after the show. It's already up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And it's about the season 5. It brings you some shots from the first 3 episodes. I also we put in the emblems of the families. We put in the main characters separated according to families. It's a pretty cool video, so check it out. It'll basically bring you up to speed in about 2 minutes on what's happening so far. So what do you think of this so far?
I think the started is good, it started a soft way, it's a soft opening, but from the second and third episode, it take a turn. The second episode has a good things when he's getting prepared for his date, and in the third episode, but I was not I was surprised because I didn't knew that it is going to be a subtitles. They don't have a dub version out right now.
Well, yeah, they will, but you won't see the first dub till they get to episode 4 or 5, and then they'll dub 1.
Yeah, and I think I missed something. I just wanted to ask you, and I was waiting. Why they're hiding from the guards in the episode 3rd? When they're on the date,
Okay, okay, so it's not, we're not giving away nothing by me answering this. It's a simple fact that with Rabbit's Foot, everybody, he wants to be the hero, okay? And he's obviously the MC in this entire storyline. He is the main character in the DANMACHI, Is It Okay to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon series. So I'm trying to answer that without giving away the secret. So I had to kind of stop myself because I almost did it right then and there. You'll figure it out by the end, but it's kind of, he doesn't, his goddess, Hestia, is in love with him, okay? So she don't want him around any other girls. But he's rabbit's foot. He's like kind to everybody. So everybody, he's one of those likable little kids. Me, I can't stand people like that, so I would steer clear of them. But there are so many lovers of him. You know, Belle Cornell is. Do you remember? Did you watch season 4? Have you seen all? I thought, because we've done the thing. I mean, you saw his capability. He's a level 4 inside of 6 months. No other person has ever done that in the history of Aurora. It just doesn't happen. Nobody climbs the ladder that fast. And the whole thing of the story is foretold that there will be a hero that comes and conquers the dungeon and conquers the dragon at the bottom of the dungeon. And it's going to take a hero to do that. And once that is done, something will happen with Aurora, and which they're not telling us what. Honestly, I think they'll let the gods come back down again once they conquer that and maybe reset it with something, you know, something different. It'll be in the books. I doubt we'd ever see that in an anime. Because that would be restarting a franchise. I mean, because along with the anime, you also have people spending millions of dollars of real money developing this and, you know, working at this. You remember the first time I showed you a staff list on what it takes to make an anime? I mean, even though I know we're talking about an on-screen anime, but it's still affected by the people that work there in real life, that their jobs. So the anime has to be able to produce and create fans and create, you know, people that watch it. And this thing is all over on where it's released at. You got Crunchyroll, High Dive, Anime Generation, Anaplus TV, Aniverse, Bahamut, Loftel. You've got all those places, and I'm sure this will make it on Netflix at some point. It's a negotiation thing, and Netflix pays big bucks for they get, you know, each one of these anime series. They're paying between $100,000 and $1 million or more, you know, to get. I know Netflix has paid $100 million for an MMO fight. You know, so we're talking astronomical amounts of money, and then 2020 happened in America, and the whole world, everything cost double. You know, I mean, it affected everywhere. And I know we're just talking about an anime, but when you look at the entire picture and take everything into account, but yeah, to get back to basics, they want, Seer she is associated with the familiar that is kind of watching her back. She's like a favorite among the sorry, Freya. I keep forgetting her name. I'm sorry. They are compatriots of the Freya familiar. All right, and she was part of the Freya. She is part of the Freya familiar, so they're gonna watch her back, and they don't like Belle Cornell. They think he cheated the system to get to level 4. They think he's a wuss. Basically, they do not like him. They're not friendly like he is, and it's a difference in attitude, and they don't like him, and they're going to do whatever they can because they don't think that he's worthy of going out on a date with Seer. But she has given him a lunch every single day from the cafe when he goes into the dungeon. She's the one that has fed him. And because she's in love with him. There's probably half a dozen to a dozen of the female characters in the city that like Bel Cornell and want to be around him. And a lot of them have respect for him because he doesn't lie. He doesn't take shortcuts. He does it the right way, you know, and he's built up on a belief from his grandpa that of how you treat women. And his grandpa never told him the other side of how you treat women. He only, you know, you want your kid to grow up and be respectful, and you know, taught him how to open doors for ladies. You always let a lady go first. You never disrespect them by making fun of them. And I mean, you've seen the anime. You see how he is. I mean, he's caused himself more problems just because of the way he treats his fellow adventurers and stuff. But he is absolutely hooked on adventuring, and he's kind of naive, I guess is one good way to say it. And he doesn't pick up well on when women are hitting on him. He just don't get it. I mean, you remember the mermaid last time in 4 when he was hanging out with the mermaid? All right, by the end of that, she was in love with him. You know, she fell for him too, and she was only in it for 3 episodes. So it doesn't take long for, and then him being with Ryu really likes him because they have fought many battles before. She always kind of had put him in a special place. Because he would be willing to fight. And she actually kind of dogged on him in the beginning, and then she finally saw how hard he worked, and, you know, also that with that hero thing he has, he can take any weapon, any magic thing, and increase its power by 20. That hero shot is amazing. You know, when you start to hear that ding, dong, ding, and you see them little sparks going around his hands, oh yeah, some shit's gonna go down. You know, he's gonna knock somebody through a wall. I mean, that hero shot is amazing. And it's designed that way. You can only use it once every so often. It can only carry the power as well as the feelings that the person has in his heart in that attack. And when an adventurer in the adventurer world, when you have an attack that's based on feelings, well, you know how feelings can be all over the place, let alone for guys. Most of them just ignore feelings. We're guys. We don't care about feelings. We want to watch football, eat sub sandwiches, lay there with our hand down our pants and be comfortable, you know. You watch Family Guy. You've seen, you know, all these. What was that one with the Al? Al was the main character in. It was a comedy on TV. I don't know if you've seen it over in your country, but Married with Children.
No,
I mean, oh my gosh, you got to check that out because that's a man's man right there. Well, this is a power increasing magical attack that's based on your feelings. And it's in a dude, it's not in a girl. If it's in a girl, it would be better, but girls don't like to be heroes. You know, they protect their own. They're big into family, so they're not, because a hero is a loner that fights for the right cause every time, no matter what, and he always has to keep that in mind, and it makes the job of being hero extremely difficult, because you have to walk that narrow path to become a hero. I couldn't do it. I mean, I still help people out. I do whatever I can in real life. I would love to be an adventurer, but I wouldn't be able to use the hero shot because I'm going to watch out for myself. I mean, I'm not opposed to helping other people, but you got to take care of yourself. Well, Bell Cornell don't think like that. He doesn't think about taking care of himself. He's the hero. That's why, in a lot of the animes, like Arafuta, alright, you remember the hero in Arafuta, right? He gets his butt kicked by Hajime all the time, because when you're a hero, you're trying to save the world all at the same time. You're trying to do the impossible. It's impossible. That's why nobody wants to be the hero anymore. So, and then when you get other people, when he's becoming the hero, and now that just pisses off a whole nother section of people. Because he's getting all the attention and it doesn't look like he's doing anything for it. Because, this guy goes down the dungeon, he comes back up, and all of a sudden people are flocking to him. They don't understand why. They don't understand why someone high up in their familiar would like or love this dude when, they think, well, you're ignoring all your own people and falling in love with someone else. So being a hero's tough. So look at I guess I would say look up the definition of hero, but that wouldn't even give you the true sense of what it is. You'd have to look up the definition of hero in the adventuring world. And I don't think there's an adventuring world dictionary floating around. We should probably make one, but because the definitions are different, But for the most part, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be the hero. Would you?
No, if you remember, there was a really famous quote, with great power comes the great responsibility. So it's not about
Yeah, that is so much of an understatement, but I didn't mean to go on and on about the hero thing, but it kind of plays into this season, with him being the hero of part of the reason why a lot of people are after him. And the rest of it has to do with the bombshell that if y'all ain't figured it out by the time we get to episode 15, we will explain it. But all I'll have to do to explain it is to point at something that already exists, and so it already tells you, but just not in so many words. You still got to figure it out. But we'll let everyone know what that is when we get to that point. We will have another show about this. We'll keep this is a very popular series. This is a very popular, it being 5, very few animes make it to 5. So we will follow this all the way along to see, do they do better than 4? 4 is going to be a hard one to top. 4 was an awesome season. I mean, that pulled on your heartstrings. That was a good one. That was top anime. So let's see if they can do better, or does it fall off? Not many anime projects, and because that's what the Japanese call it, is projects. Not many projects make it that far. And, a lot of them will make it 2. Some of them will make it 3. But 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, I mean, I can think of all animes on one hand that make it that far. So, I guess that means you guys will have to wait till Monday, and we will be back. We will be back on, I believe we go back to Crunchyroll stuff on Monday, but don't worry, we are definitely I don't know if we're gonna keep up the High Dive week, or if we're gonna just start throwing some High Dive stuff in there, during the week. It makes it a lot harder for me to change the room and everything for High Dive, so we'll have to look and see what we're gonna do, but we'll figure it out this weekend. And please don't forget to check out our Twitter or X, and check out our Instagram, Facebook, and check out what we got on YouTube. We are premiering a video. I will post it within about 10 minutes right after the show and check that video out. It has to do with season 5 of the DANMACHI series of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? And I can never remember those words exact, but I know which one it is. You know, you don't always remember the exact words, but all right, so you guys have a good weekend, and we will